Hey everyone, welcome back to The Upgrade, where we discuss upgrading your home, your finances, but ultimately your life. Today's video, we're going to be talking about how I became debt-free at the age of 25 using Dave Ramsey's baby steps. So before we get started, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at @theupgrade_Kiki. Also, check out my video on how I was able to save $5,000 in 6 months. And let's get into the video. I read the book, The Total Money Makeover, 2019, like mid 2019, and honestly it changed my whole life. So I wanted to get into first, what are the baby steps, starting with baby step number 1, which is to save up $1,000. This part was not that hard. So what he believes is to pay the minimum payments on all of your bills. Like, don't overpay anything yet, just go ahead and get to that $1,000. I will say I didn't need the $1,000. $500 was enough for me. I don't think I had any emergencies, but I do recommend $1,000. Now that I'm a homeowner, I'm like, yeah, you need $1,000. But at the time, my expenses were pretty low, so I didn't need $1,000. Baby step number 2 is to pay off all debt using the debt snowball. The debt snowball is where you take the smallest debt, pay that off, and then roll that payment amount into the next debt, pay that off, and then roll those two amounts into the next debt, pay that off, and you just keep going down until it's paid off. So I started doing that at first, but then the debt avalanche was a lot more my speed. I was tired of still paying my car note and stuff like that, because it was of course my bigger debt. So I did the first 2 using the snowball method, but then I did the debt avalanche where I paid off my car and then I rolled all of that into my other debt, which, like I said, you have to go by what works for you, but that is another option, the debt avalanche. Baby step number 3 is to save up 3 to 6 months of expenses. Once you become debt free, which I'm going to talk about life after being debt free, but oh my gosh, you have so much money. So much money at the end of the month. It's like, what am I going to do with all of this? I saved all of it. I just act like it doesn't exist. I may have done some things to like upgrade maintenance on my car to make it last longer, things like that I did, but other than that, I put all that money into my savings account, which is how I was really able to save up $5,000 in 6 months. So something that I did to move my debt snowball up is I used the money that I was making from my side hustle, which is my other YouTube channel at Sleeves. I'll leave it down below, but I used that money to like really push my debt snowball. I used that, all of that income from that side hustle, to put towards debt, and it made it go down even faster. One thing he does say is like to not go out to eat, don't do this, don't do that. I still wanted to live, so I did set aside a fun budget of $80 every 2 weeks that I used to go out and hang out with friends. Now I ended up having to like really sacrifice a lot of brunches. I would go to the brunch, but I would only either get food or mimosas. If I went over budget, then that means I had to take that money out from my next week's budget. I was that strict. So there were times where my friends were like, oh my God, I'm having a birthday dinner. And I'm like, well, happy birthday. But yeah, no. That's how strict I was. Like, you really have to want this. You have to live like no one else so that you can live like no one else, right? Yeah, I stopped getting my nails done. I mean, I did a video on this, but I stopped getting my nails done. And then I also stopped getting my hair done. I have not been to the hair salon still, because it's just like I was saving so much money. I do get my nails done though now, but before, yeah, I was strict. I was doing my own nails. I bought my own polish set, save money. No monthly subscriptions at all. I don't have Apple Music, all of that stuff. And I know in y'all head that's like, okay, that's not that much money, but it really is when you add it up over a year's worth of time. It's like, nah. I started reading more books because of that, because yeah, I don't really watch TV like that, and I didn't have anything to watch. When Game of Thrones ended, I was cool with not having cable. I'm like, okay, y'all can turn that off. No Christmas, no birthdays. Sorry, I don't do a birthday party for me. I don't do one for my son. I just don't. Baby showers and stuff I would break, but if that went into my budget, that mean I couldn't do anything that next week. If you really want to get yourself out of debt and get out of debt fast, you're gonna have to do things that are like crazy. Another thing is keeping my old phone. Hello, still have the iPhone 8. I'll upgrade when the 24 comes out. And keep in mind, I have money. I could buy a new phone if I wanted to, but no, it's not necessary. So no, I'm not buying phones. I don't upgrade my phone every year. I don't want to make payment plans on no phone. I got this phone for like, I think $300 at the time, and I've had it for like years now, and it works. I mean, I have had to get the screen fixed a couple times, but it's cheaper than buying a brand new iPhone 12. Is the 12 still out, or is it the 13? I don't even know, because it don't matter. Now, there's some things that he says that I just disagree with. Like, one of the things that he says is to never use credit cards to get points. I'm very disciplined, so I use my credit cards to get my points, because yeah, that saves money. I use my Discover card for everything. If you're not disciplined and you have a lot of credit card debt and stuff like that, you don't do that to yourself. That's not for everyone. I agree with him on that, because some people will start swiping their credit card and then they'll be like underwater. But if you're disciplined like me, I use my credit card every month and then I pay it off before the billing date. So another thing he mentions is like getting a 15-year mortgage, and no, I wasn't gonna do that. 15-year mortgage, yeah, it makes sense, but at the same time, I know that within a few years I plan on renting out this house, and I would rather have like cash flow from a 30-year mortgage, because I pay less, versus a 15-year mortgage where I pay more and I get less cash flow. Robert Kiyosaki. I need to do a video on Dave Ramsey versus Robert Kiyosaki, because oh my gosh, they are so different. But yeah, I definitely wanted more cash flow when I do finally rent this property out. So I don't see the issue with 30-year mortgage, to be honest. One day I'm gonna refinance, but not right now. So all in all, Dave Ramsey is amazing. I just say really dedicate the time to becoming debt-free. Becoming debt-free is so freeing. I feel like I could do anything. But I will say that your life is going to be ruined, because even when you do become debt free and I have all this money that I'm saving per month, you're still not going to want to spend it. You're just not. I actually have a video about me going on a sabbatical, and my goal is to do an adult gap year with me and my baby, and we're going to travel and see some places around the world for a whole year. So that's honestly what I'm saving up for now. My goal is to save up $50,000 to $75,000, which I feel like I could do between my YouTube income plus my job, but we're gonna see. So on this channel, I'm gonna keep you posted on that. I'm gonna do like an actual series on that, on how I got to $75,000. So stay tuned for that. Write down every single bill. Every single bill that you have, I don't care how big, I don't care how small. That Apple space thing for $1.99, write all of that down. Write all that down. The first thing you want to do is see what can you get rid of. Next thing, and I know people always say pack your lunch, but no, seriously, pack your lunch. The money that you spend per day on lunch, it's unbelievable. If you have a Chick-fil-A in your neighborhood, I would recommend downloading the app. I get a lot of points on there, and I get a lot of free items. So they'll have like free chicken sandwich day. I don't have to spend money that day because I get a chicken sandwich, or I'll spend $1 to get a fry or something. But just really like watching how much you spend per day. If you drink coffee every day, does your job have free coffee and you could just buy your own creamer or something? Because that'll also save money. Another key is to stop hanging out with your friends, because I think that's where I spent the most money, is hanging out with friends, because they always wanted to go out to eat and go out to brunch and do all of that. No, if you do hang out with them, eat before you go. But it's gonna be some things you're gonna miss out on. Also with trips. Now, I don't know about y'all friends, but my friends are big on going on trips and things like that. And don't get me wrong, I would love to go on a trip, but is it worth it? Could that money go towards something else? Because my friend is going to Turks and Caicos for her birthday. I wish I could go, but I have a bigger plan. You know, Dave Ramsey is going to teach you discipline. So I was like, no, I can't go, because that $500 and something that I would have spent, I could put in my savings account to go towards my early retirement, and then I could travel wherever I want, whenever I want, however long I want to, right? Buying clothes. You have enough clothes. Practice minimalism. There's a few channels that I'm gonna like put in the description box, because minimalism will change your life. You gotta pick what's more important. Having the shoes and the clothes and stuff like that, oh, I need to buy something because I have nothing to wear, but you got a million outfits. I just did that this weekend. I ain't even gonna lie. I just spent money on some clothes, but it's only because I lost a lot of weight and I didn't have anything that fit. But if I didn't, trust me, I would not have spent that money. Oh my gosh, I do not like spending money on clothes. I still have the same shoes that I had in high school. I just threw those away because they're like peeling really bad. But clothes and shoes and all those accessories, no. You also should have a monthly budget. If you don't, I can do a video on that if y'all are interested on how I write down my monthly budget. I believe in trying to pay up as many bills as you can on that first check, and then doing what else you need to do on that second check. Group economics, staying together, live with your family. If you can go back home, go back home. If you can find a roommate, find a roommate. If you can find some friends to live with, do that. Because your house expense is your highest expense, but you will save so much money if you just live with somebody. If you don't want to live with anyone, you don't need a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom place. No, get a studio and make it do what it do. That's all you need, okay? It's certain neighborhoods that you don't want to be in danger, don't get me wrong, but if there's a neighborhood that's like, oh, I don't really like this neighborhood because, oh, it's this, that, and the third, those are sometimes the neighborhoods you need to live in. Like, from experience, I lived in neighborhoods that they just were not my favorite. They had old appliances and stuff like that, but I made it work because who cares about that? You know, you have to think bigger than you. This is bigger than you. You want to be debt free. You want to have those golden handcuffs that you have from your job released. You want to be able to just live your life. You get what I'm saying? Guilt free. Because a lot of us, we always do things for ourselves and we feel guilty. Which brings me to another point. The treat yourself mentality. Stop it. Oh, I need to treat myself to debt, to being broke, to not having any money at the end of the month. That watch and that jewelry that you need to buy so bad, that was a no. Cut that out. That treat yourself, oh, I'm gonna treat myself to a $80 steak from so and so. No, absolutely not. Focus. Gazelle intensity. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at @the_upgrade_Kiki, and I will see you all on the next video.